Okay, so this is the CGA League match that I was supposed to play yesterday, but the opponent had to postpone last moment, so we're doing it now. Okay. 4-4-4-4. So the main options are Q4, Q3. Okay, Q3. I'm gonna just mirror him. If he goes for an extension at R5, okay, so he's going for the Chinese himself. So I mean, O4 is an approach, N4 is another approach. I went with O4 here. Can I extend back as far back as K4? I think so. If he goes M4, M4, O5, or O6 rather, O3. I feel like I'm okay. I can cut Atari. Boom. Yeah, should be fine. Is P3 Sente here? If I play P3, do I have any tactics around R3 here? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so he's going for the inside approach. Normal thing to do would be C15, but kind of want to be more aggressive considering that I've invested 3 stones on the 4th line on the bottom, so I don't really want to let him get C14, D14. Kind of ruins the potential. Okay. He's going for the really complicated Joseki here. The really complicated Joseki goes, if I go D16, E16, and then I cut at E15, it gets absurd. I don't want that. I don't know this variation very well. If I just do E18, and he goes up to F17 most likely. F17, right? Then what happens after C16, after C15, C16 cut? I cut a D16, he has to go up here. Okay, wow. Okay, so he just Tanukis plays K16. K16 is a nice move, but I don't know that it's reasonable for him to leave the situation so unresolved here. So if I just go E17, he extends, I connect a D16. This stone is going to be in huge trouble. If he goes up to E15, I can pressure bottom group more like this. Seems fine. Seems really good. And if he bends at F16, then I'm very happy to get at E15 here. This stone will become quite securely captured. Okay. Alright, so he's totally abandoning the top left in exchange for building a big framework on the top right. Okay, well, this is the right time to invade, I think. The question is just whether I invaded R14 or O17. Or somewhere else entirely, like P10. I guess the attraction of R14 is that I can do... This 2-space extension here is not so good because of K16, whereas this 2-space extension is fine. So if he pincers here, at, say, R12, which is probably his most likely move. R18 or R17 is not that attractive. Or maybe it kind of is, because I can always just get underneath here. So if he makes a wall at Q17, maybe not that effective. Or maybe I just don't invade at all. Maybe I just play like here. And we both go for large frameworks. The problem is he got K10, and K10 is kind of a... Okay, I think I'm gonna go O17. And if he pincers at M17, I'm happy to jump out here. He goes to Q14 or R14. And then something like this puts pressure on those stones and, you know, slams the door on E17. So I'm not going to play L17 here, no matter what. He could play P17 as well, which I'd be fine with. Sorry, same cough from yesterday. Okay, so he does just play Q14. So again, I'm not going to play L17 here. I could exchange Q17 or Q18 for R17 and then go up to L15. I could just go up right away. Or I could just cap at K14. Cap at K14. And then if he plays O16, N16. Yeah, I kind of like the cap here. It's definitely a weird move, but it looks good here. Okay, sweet. So now he goes M17. That's the move I wanted to see earlier. So now's the right time to O15. Okay. Well, that's very aggressive. Okay, so the obvious thing here is M16. Because if he goes L16, then I can go M15 and have perfect shape. But if he goes M15, and I go L17, he Atari's like extend 1016, then he can capture it all 18. So instead, if he goes M15, I can just go L16. If he blocks at L15, I go down. If he blocks at L17, yeah. Okay. That seems good. This is very severe, though. This could turn out very badly.
For you?
Yeah. For either of us, really. Okay, so he did play M15. So the move that we talked about was L16 here. Let's just double check. Okay, L16, N16. N17. L15, Atari, we're good. N16, N17, L17. L15. We're less good in that situation, but still okay. Especially since R17 is still wide open. Okay, cool. So far everything's going according to plan. What happens if we just go here instead? No, then N17 is too good. L17. Okay, so he has to block M15 now. Right. So now, now's the real question of what to do. So I can go for this cut right away, which is definitely an option. He'll probably play K18 to live there, and then O16, and then I can play R17. And that would be a pretty good result. Or I can do this, threaten O14. He probably responds with O14. No, let's just go for K17 now. I think K17 is very valuable. And if he just plays O16 here, okay, K17, K18 of course. Okay, that I was not expecting. Although it's not bad. Just forces me one more time. Okay, here I can afford to Hane. So once I Hane here, is that Sente, or is he just going to play P17? It's hard to tell. It all depends on O16 and how much O16 threatens O14. Because I do still want to get R17 here, so I need to end the sequence in Sente. Yeah, sure. Either way, this is going to be a huge chunk of territory. I just need to grab R17. If I can get R17 here, white's doing well. Ooh, ideal would be if I get O18 in Sente. Like if he plays N18, O18, and then he connects, and then I play R17, then I get the whole corner. That would be the best. Can I force that? Can I play M18 connect, O18, and then if he goes somewhere there, like if he just protects that cut, I mean that invasion, then L19, he's down to 3 libs. I'll be at 3. Interesting. That might happen. Perfect. Okay, so he did play N18. So now we do get O18. So now I'm pretty sure he has to play M18, right? Or M19, something. He needs to play something in here to get the second eye. Which means I'll get R17 quite profitably here. Perfect. Okay, let's see if I can't be even more violent here. No, I can't. Not get greedy. R17 is good enough. That is fine. And let him connect to P17 here, or that, same thing. Oh, not the same thing. Oh, that's bad for him. P17, P19, Q19, he connects Atari, boom, boom. Oh, he's so dead. Oh, he must be cursing right now. Okay. So this is a good result.
No, it's not. I see it.
You see it? Okay, so he gives up on that. Okay, so he's threatening the G18 cut here. Let's just be very careful in how we handle this. We are now firmly in the driver's seat. We just have to be careful not to give up. Okay. Okay, is this for sure dead? It may or may not be. Doesn't really matter. These are certainly dead, so I'm definitely alive here. I don't think there's a difference between S17 and T17 here. Cool. So the top right is settled. We got a good deal out of it. The top left is almost entirely ours. So we'll keep that in mind when we handle the bottom. So he obviously wants to C6 here. If I just play D6, he can't reasonably invade at C3. Because the resulting wall is way too good. Okay, M3 is a good point. It's not about the territory per se. It's more about eliminating this whole area as potential for him. So I think I'm okay with just M4 here. He'll probably play L3 or N3. Yeah, N3. Okay, so at this point I can just L3 let him grab N3. But I'm not too comfortable with letting him have that much territory there. Whereas if I play here, he'll definitely play L3. Yeah, he's still going to make a ton of territory. So I think this is better. It makes stronger attacks against F4. Yeah. Then if he jumps out at f6, we're happy to play like e8, even d8. There's still tons of aji here. Is he gonna follow up with m5? Yeah, looks like he is. That's all right. He's certainly gunning really hard for territory here. He'll get it, but how much of it he'll get is the question. I think this is a pretty crucial move at this point. He'll play L14 to force me to connect to K15, and then L13, right? I would have liked to get K5 here, but there's no time. Actually, there probably is time. I think K5 might be Sente. K5, N5. Like if I play N5 after K5, then O5 up, he needs to protect these two stones, so he jumps out there. Which means I can play O3, O2, boom, boom, boom. Threaten the corner and these stones. So yeah, I think now is a good time for K5. Plus it's just making like territory. Cool. Okay, so what's the best way to reduce here? L10. He'll probably just play M. No, because that gets me too much territory. He kind of has to play L9 or K9, at which point I can go into N10. So I kind of like this. And if he does just pay attention to this, then K9 and I have serious chances of just swallowing the entire left half of the board. At which point this corner becomes the tiebreaker. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that is what's going to happen here. Let's see. Let's see how he wants to handle this. Okay. He wants to handle this with just a reduction. So, moment of choice here. So I can go here, force the connection, boom, 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 boom. No, that's not great. I can just do, I kind of want to just do like E3 or D3. Force him to jump up here, and then grab this. So he'll have reduced this part successfully, but lost all of that. And I still have, you know, things here. Yeah, I really don't want him to get C3 now anymore. If I just do this, I'm leaving myself open. What am I leaving myself open to? If he plays E5, I can play C7. If he plays G5, I can contain it. More or less. Okay, no, I'm kind of concerned about G5, H6 cut. These stones aren't 100% safe yet. So I'm going to do this first, because if he just jumps up at F6, then I can make them 100% safe with F3. Wow. Okay, this feels kind of desperate. At this point I can just safely f7. It's unlikely he'll be able to connect out safely. I'll be able to solo f4. Sure. I mean, his plan here must be f8. f8, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's do this first. He'll do g8. Now let's just do this for the shape fixing aspects. Okay, so now it's time to cut. How do we cut? Do we cut with h7 or h8? I think h7 is better because it doesn't allow for j8. Or sorry, h8 is better because it doesn't allow for j8. And then if he just goes h6 here, then yeah, I can't. Okay. We have a plan. We have a plan. He's gonna cut at h7. He's got to cut at h7, right? Otherwise, these last two moves make no sense.
Is that his?
This area will most likely be his, yeah.
You're not gonna jump in there?
No, it's
Oh, he didn't take it.
it's too dangerous. But this area will be mine. And this area.
Mm.
And this area. So I think I'm fine on territory here. Okay. That's a interesting idea. So if I go h8, h9, and he connects at j8. Okay, simplest thing to do would be just to do this. What happens? He cuts here, right there. He can cut at L9, connect there, Atari's there. Atari there. Yeah, that's fine. This seems okay. Unless I'm missing something. The beauty of this position is that the cut at f8, f6 is nothing to worry about because of the strength of these stones here. Okay. So far, so good. So he's going to do one of these two. And which one of these two he chooses is going to determine the next big chunk of the game, I think. Either way, it's becoming quite crucial that I manage to kill these stones. Which I think I can do. I'd love to get c9. Once I have time for it. The other nice thing about L9 is that I can now jump in at N9 to do some reduction now. Sorry. Okay, so we went with that one. That is probably the simpler one for us of his two choices. So how's he gonna follow this up? Where is he gonna try to make eye space here? Okay, there. That's where he's gonna make his stand. So, how are we going to reduce his eye space? Can the cut at G9 just straight up work? G9, F9. G10. It actually kind of can. That's interesting. No, not really. Oh, actually, yes, really. F9, H10, E10. Now he can make an eye with D10, but these will have been cut off. And this will be safe. So then I can just reduce the eye space down here. Okay, if I just go here, and he plays like D10. It seems like there's multiple good moves here. It's hard to pick just one. If I go here and he just plays F10. No, that's not gonna work either. Okay, I think K11 is good enough. It's also very safe. Because of the strength I've built up here around L9 as well, I think N5 has become very attractive once more. Okay. So that's the plan he's going for. Does C9 work here? C9. C9, C12, D10. I'd be giving up too much on that side. I mean, G9 is still a possibility here. It's ever present. Yeah, I think this is a good move. Even if he lives here, getting C8 later will be worth it. Okay. I think C8 is just the move here. So now he's probably going to just take E10. Or that, same thing. I have to do either this or this. I think this is better because it makes... No, well, he's going to play E10 next no matter what, right? So in that case, I'd rather just be more secure here. Yeah, I'd rather have that. He's obviously going to play E10 here. Oh, he's not. Okay, well now I wish I'd played D7. Yeah, I really wish I'd played d7. Really wish I'd played d7. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that situation for now. There's nothing more to be done there, I think. So now, okay, is n5 viable now? Yeah, I think it is. I think n5 is quite dangerous. Especially if I can follow it up with m7.
Why can't you take d7 anymore?
Pardon? Why can't he take...
You.
Oh, I can, but now it's too late. Like, if I play d7, he'll just play e10. I wanted to play d7 instead of c7, so that now when he does this, I can take... Like, this liberty will already be filled in, so when I take a d10, he won't be able to just play d11. But it's too late now. The truth is, probably if I had played d7, he wouldn't have responded this way. Then he would have played e10 right away, and then I could have grabbed c12, which is better anyway. Okay, so he's threatening f6 here. Okay, but it's nothing to worry about. Okay, so just o3 now. So that's another advantage of having played c7 instead of... Okay, so now when he does this... I didn't screw up here, did I? I can do this now, right? Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, so obviously I'm not going to do this. That would be suicide. I'm going to do that, and now we're fine. So now is he going to grab o5? Yeah. Now he's going to grab o5. Okay, so now another big fight begins. So if he gives up those 2 stones, okay, he's just going to give up those 2 stones. Actually, he's going to give up everything. I can just grab this now. So if I just go here, I'm extending that for another turn. If I go here, he plays n7. If I go here, yeah, this is bigger. Because now if he wants to save these 3 stones, he's going to lose these 6 or 7. Perfect. So now I can just grab this. And if he plays... m8... Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we've captured all these. That's another 20-ish points there. And these. So this chunk of the bottom here roughly cancels out this. And this roughly cancels out this. So I think we're ahead. And I do have Comey, so that's also a feather in my cap. I'd like to get N9. I'd like to get Q4. Okay, I'm not getting N9. That one just clear. Q4 then. If I play Q4 right now, he plays P4, P3, connect, R3, down, R4. Yeah, it's gonna end well. That's gotta end well, right?
Don't get cocky.
So he has to connect here now. So now when I play R3, Q2, connect up here. Okay, this would be safer. But I'm sure I can just read this out. Hold on. I'm going in the tank. Yeah, this works. Okay, so white now has, like, is probably going to get all four corners if this works out the way I think it's going to work out. Perfect. So yes, we are in fact going to have all four corners. This is now the only significant part of black's territory. So I have to think we're firmly in the lead at this point. I really don't want him to grab a point around here. That would be inconvenient, to say the least, although I guess I'll treat it as Mii with like C16. He also still has some small concerns around Q5. Not right now, but maybe later. Okay, so he did get that point I didn't want him to get. Well, that's okay. Making Mii of E15 and C15. Okay. So actually, this was probably not wise. Okay, if he just plays d16, I'm happy to give that stone back. In exchange for connecting at c14. Okay. c16 to grab the biggest chunk of the corner that I can. f15 threatens a snapback if he cuts out f16. Okay. Have to capture to prevent c17. But now we're okay. And it was Sente because he has to be very worried about f15 at this point. Okay. So it looks like he is going to make some territory there. I'll have to factor that into my count. This is also the best reduction I can do here. It's a nice Sente reduction. Take some of the pressure off of this cut here as well, which is nice. Okay, so we're heading into endgame now. T15. G15, why not? Does this work? I think it works at least a little. It at least lets me get like B10 and Sente. Yeah, that was a nice thing to get in Sunday. Solid reduction there. Okay, I don't want to play. I should have just grabbed T13 while I could. If I play here, T18, connect. Actually, no, that works fine, right? Yeah, let's just play it safe. You can always leave that as a half-point ko for later. Sorry. That doesn't do anything. I'm not even 100% sure I needed to play anything at all. But just to be safe. H15 is worth points. Not a huge lot of them, but okay. So I probably should have grabbed the bamboo joint here sooner. This is actually a decent chunk of points. Can this be killed? Apparently not. At least not by me. That's fine. That's nice pointage. Okay. threatening the cut there, but that's not really a threat anymore. I guess I just want to make like the four something points up here. No reason not to. That's nice. Okay, so I can't safely go here because of b17. So I have to back up by 1. This is safe. Which one leaves fewer co-threats? This one. This is safe. I'm pretty glad in the end that I did play c7 instead of d7. Okay. So that's just a small endgame point. That's just a small endgame point. We're getting to the last few moves of the game here. That does a bit, actually. Probably about as much as this does, though. I wish I could count this off the top of my head, but it doesn't really matter because the count is not going to affect how we play the rest of these moves out. That's a half point ko. Are there any moves worth points left? That's worth a point. That's worth a full point. I'm just gonna play that one safe. Okay, I'm glad that I have such a huge prisoner lead, as well as, let me just make sure, yeah, Comey. So we're looking good here. Okay. Any other moves worth points here? That's worth 1 point. Okay. I think we might be down to the half-point moves now. What? Oh, okay, it's just a cut through. Do have to be careful here, though. It would really suck if we gave that up. Okay, cool. I think this is worth a point, right? This is worth 1 point. Just transferring the half-point go over to here. Okay, I think that's the last move of the game. I think that's it. I don't think he needed to do that, but sure. I don't think I need to do this either. But there's no other points. Actually, I think H11's worth a point. Yeah, darn, I saw it. Okay, just force him to fill in there. It's not actually worth anything. We're done here. Jeez. Okay. Let's count them up. Quite a big win. But that's mostly because of his kind of blunder in the top. I think this game could have been a lot closer if he'd just, not misread, made that slight misread up there. Would have looked very, very different. But it was a good game. It was a really exciting game. Okay, let us report our victory. And we're good. Thank you for watching, guys. That was probably the last CGA match of this month because I'm completely unable to schedule one for the last two guys. Maybe there'll be one tomorrow if I can get it in last minute, but probably not. So yeah, just a regular practice schedule for the rest of the week. Adios.